I am in my second year of undergrad at State University in California, and I'm having an issue with my brother, who is in his late 20s and a computer engineer. This is relevant to my issue. As a side note, I know very little about computers other than basic Googling skills. My brother is a very type A person, very perfectionist and hardworking, often to the detriment of himself and others. He is a nice and positive person and is successful in the traditional sense, but he is very controlling and has a bit of an overblown ego. I'm a much more relaxed person, and the two of us share very little in the way of interests or guiding philosophies. I'm a visual arts major who likes to draw, and he's the type of person who watched Fight Club and thought that Tyler Durden was onto something. We get along, but have hostilities. My brother resents the fact that I am not like him and that I don't look up to him as a role model. He is very fond of mocking my interests, hobbies, career plans, and he often talks literally about a plan for me in which I change my major to engineering and start taking his advice. When he brings this up now over the phone, I stop talking to him for whatever amount of days, weeks, until he apologizes, and we do it all over again. 2 weeks ago, my brother made a joke referencing a piece of digital art I drew on my laptop. I didn't think anything of it until I realized after the call ended that I never posted that piece of art anywhere, not even onto any cloud service. It had only been available on my physical laptop. I was nervous and downloaded Malwarebytes, but it didn't find anything. Thinking back, I also recalled my brother making a joke about something I said to a friend privately on Discord, which also was not publicly available. Checking Gmail and a few other websites I'm on that showed options, I discovered someone had been logging into my accounts from an unfamiliar computer and had been doing so for about a week. I called my brother about this and he laughed and told me that he had remote access to my computer and that he'd be checking up on everything I was doing from this point on. I told him that that was ridiculous, and he basically laughed and said that people today have no reasonable expectation of privacy anyways. Without going into detail, I've basically discovered that my brother literally has access to everything in my life. My bank account, school account, my art, chat accounts, all the files on my computer. He has even referenced information that leads me to think there is a very good chance of him having a camera, microphone in my room. He has been in my apartment in the last month, and the only reason I think he might not is because I haven't been able to find it. There is nothing on my computer or cloud files or anything I'm even remotely embarrassed about. But the idea that my brother has all my information is terrible, and I want him to stop. I don't feel comfortable in my apartment using my computer, personal accounts anymore. I'm writing this from my school's library. Is there a way to clearly show him that this is wrong with an amount of force and guarantee my privacy in the future without getting him into serious trouble? My brother is an idiot, and I'm pissed at him for this, especially in the way where he acts like it's a joke or that he's doing it to mentor me, which he keeps saying, like he has called me knowing my class schedule, which I never told him and reminded me to go to class, etc. But I don't want his life to be ruined over this, even if he is an a-hole. He has also joked about dropping my classes, which I got really pissed at, and he assured me it was a joke, but I still feel uncomfortable that he'd even hint at that. Without going into a lot of detail, based on some stuff that I read on here and a conversation with a friend, I realized that the way I viewed the relationship with my brother was incredibly messed up, and I decided to act more seriously about this. I was thinking about how to proceed last night while cleaning, and then I actually found a camera. I know I said I thought there was one before, but I don't think I really consciously did. It was in my bathroom. I have gone to the police station, and for now we have an injunction against my brother. I also reported the computer hacking along with texts and a phone message he sent where he both alludes to and directly confirms it, so I don't know what'll happen, but I feel a lot better having taken this right. I appreciate the comments people sent, it helped a lot. Without exaggerating, this was probably the worst of my life. After getting served an injunction, temporary restraining order thing, my brother, 1, told my parents, and 2, chose to immediately violate it. He left me several messages that essentially was low-key threatening to ruin my life, and I was scared, so I reported it. He was taken to jail, and to my current understanding is going to get a type of misdemeanor charge for it if he already hasn't. I don't know if he's in jail right now. I knew my parents were going to take his side, but they have effectively disowned me for this. My parents are very religious conservative Catholics. I'm not religious anymore, but they don't know that. and they were very upset by me reporting it. That's an understatement. I have enough scholarships where I will be able to continue paying for my living expenses, school with my part-time job, but the way they treated me was horrible. They're very upset because this will probably screw up his college according to the talks we've had. They said I'm disgusting, not welcome at home, etc. My dad sent me a video of him and my mom burning most of my belongings I left at his house. Not much important to me, but still. They don't believe me about the camera, and my dad said he specifically didn't care, even if it was there, just screaming the entire time. I stopped answering my phone and checking my email because it terrifies me. I bought a new cheap computer because even though someone helped me wipe it clean, I'm honestly too scared of using the old one at this point. I haven't left my room in a week. The worst part of it is over, I think, but I feel like I fell in a pit. I can't stop crying. Hi, still in California. I'm having some new problems since my last update, and I'm unsure how to handle them. I'd like to say things have been good, but they haven't. I had to stop school this semester because I've become extremely depressed and couldn't handle the workload of both school, work, and some personal things I'm focused on related to my orientation. Planning on going back next semester. Really can't focus on anything past work, and my life feels very empty RN. My brother is still in police custody and still in the process of getting convicted, which apparently takes much longer than I'd thought. My parents and a few random people their age, who I think they recruited for this, have been continually harassing me through various electronic means, random phone numbers, they do 6-7 or something, and spreading false rumors about me, and I was too depressed to deal with it properly with another restraining order, other things, so it's just been easier to ignore. My main problem at the moment is that I'm trying to get a new job, but I can't because I need my social security number. When I broke off with my parents and this happened, I had some of my important documents with me, but not the ones that college students won't use on a daily basis. Passport, social security number, birth certificate. I'm embarrassed, but I don't have it memorized. The last time I needed it, my parents sent me a picture before all this happened, but I no longer have that in my texts. I called my parents to send them to me and tried to make it sound like I'd call the police if they didn't, and my father implied that he either burned them or would never give them to me. He didn't visibly burn them in the video he sent, but I don't know if that was everything. I have trouble talking to him right now, and I couldn't maintain it. I tried calling his parish leader, who I know, and he told me he'd talked to my parents about not giving me the info, harassing me, but it hasn't done anything if he did. Surprise, surprise. The only documents I have to prove ID are my permit and my school ID, which is useless in this scenario. I need more documents if I want to get a new SSN card. I'm also scared of my parents having this information because I think they might try to mess with my life. I'm afraid that if I call the police, my dad will just claim that he never had it and burn it, hide it forever, and then I'm screwed without any way to fully prove my current identity to get new documents. Also, I want to change my name, and I'd appreciate if anyone knows the best way to go about doing that, or if it'd be too much of a pain right now. Not that big of a deal, and honestly, still lazy, but would make me feel better if it's not a big thing. The last 5 months of 2018 were the worst months of my life because of everything that happened with my brother and me being disowned by my family's friends, and many other people who I thought I knew, respected. I ended up getting my documents back without too much trouble, but after that everything has been a loss. My brother was not really punished in any substantive way. My parents have endeavored to protect him, and he basically got something on the level of probation, no jail time. He was fired, but has been hired again with a much better job with a small private company because, I'm told, of a connection with a colleague. He, or my parents, but I think him for various reasons, had various people call me up from unlisted numbers with vaguely threatening messages calling me a W or just breathing on the phone until I had to get a new number. Rumors have been spread about me to the point where I don't feel comfortable even talking to nice people I knew because I'm afraid they'll judge me based off things they've seen that aren't true. I still am not going to be able to go back to college this semester because of personal and financial reasons, and I basically have lost all my friends due to either personal insecurity, severe depression, or the rumors. I don't leave my house outside of work, and I'm not taking care of myself in the way I should. Very grossly thin and pale, working on getting better though. And I've been having very terrible dreams about going to hell and burning alive forever, which are driving me crazy. I'm not going to do anything dramatic, but mentally, I'm not where I need to be. My brother, his girlfriend, and my parents are almost 2-week-long Hawaiian cruise right now, smiling and laughing, and I'm in my apartment, still unable to sleep right because of all of this. Happy New Year. Enjoy your cruise. What a cool picture of water slide. The title says California, which is where the original issue happened, but I moved to another state now. Things have settled for me as of 4 weeks ago, and I remembered a lot of people sending me messages and PMs, so I thought I would give a final update. Life isn't good in the sense that everything is perfect. I 100% absolutely do not believe in karma, or that good things happen to people who do good, and versa with evil people. But things ended up working that way in this scenario after all the crap. Long story short is, 3 months ago my brother was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and he died about 2 months later this April. We don't have a family history with this, and I found out about it more than a month after his diagnosis. Did not see him after his death, and whatever campaign he had to bug me with his buddies just stopped all of a sudden when he found out about it. So I guess he lost interest once he found out he didn't have much time. I don't know many details because I'm not involved, and I obviously didn't try to be, but he's not here anymore. I'm glad. I felt bad about it for a day or two, and then just thought, no, really done with it. The universe threw me one ducking freebie, and I'm going to appreciate it. I honestly feel freer and happy. My life is good right now. The past 9 months have been some of the worst times of my life, but things have settled into almost niceness. Uni is postponed at the moment, and maybe forever, but I found a good job I like in a much cheaper state that I like more, and don't have to work at it a lot. I have plenty of free time now, and I'm having fun with it instead of sitting in misery. Started drawing again and reading online superhero novels. Also, pushing myself to make new friends and going to look into therapy soon. Feeling alive again. Taking care of my health again, and am not undereating anymore. Parents have reached out twice, and I ignored them. Planning to do it again and forever. I hope they rot, and I don't feel bad about it anymore. Sick of feeling guilty, sick of feeling sick. They're the ducked up people, not me. I don't want to say my brother suddenly got cancer and died and that fixed everything and I'm happy now, because that isn't true. But he died, and I'm glad about it. And yes, it did make me feel happy, and I'm finding it much easier to be happy now. I wish I could say I didn't need luck to fix my problems, but whatever. I was 20 in 2002. I met Nicole. Nicole and I hit it off immediately. We dated all through university and moved in together. 5 years after we first started dating, we got married. Nicole always got along with my family. My parents are very loving people, and my older brother John and sister Anne were always very kind to her. My youngest sister Jean was not a big fan of Nicole, but she is 4 years younger than me and was a bit of a rebel and a troublemaker. Despite that, Jean and I always got along great. When Jean was 18, she came out as a lesbian. Our parents had a hard time dealing with it, and I talked a lot to them. To not be so touchy and to remember that she was still their child. I had many talks with Jean about her feelings, etc. Jean developed herself, got involved in gay groups, started to dress herself very stereotypical. Again, I talked to my parents. They turned around. All was great. A few months after our marriage, Nicole became distant, would often go out with friends, had to work late. 6 months into our marriage, I confronted her. Was she unhappy? Was she seeing someone else? She denied it. 9 months after our marriage, she sat me down and told me that she had been seeing someone else and that she preferred that person over me. That I was amazing and that I would make someone very happy, but not her. It hurt. A lot. I tried to change her mind, tried to do everything, but no. In the end, I told her that I only wanted her to be happy. She was my true love after all, and that if someone else made her happy, so be it. Nicole quit off all contact with me afterwards. Only to sign divorce papers she showed up. About 1 month later, I got a call from my older brother John. He basically told me how sorry he was he did not call sooner, but he thought I needed some space, and how he could not believe Jean did this to me. To make a long story short, Jean and Nicole started an affair. After the divorce, they made it public to John and they told him I knew. I talked to Jean once, and I asked her why, and how she could do this. She replied that she was finally happy and that I should be happy for her. This has been 7 years ago. Jean and Nicole moved away to a different country. They are still together. My family was really mad at them at first, but the last 2 years my parents have accepted it, and John and Anne tried to. For 7 years I have not seen them. I avoided going to my family when they visited. I lived abroad the past 2 years, so never saw them. This year we are all invited. We are all going. I am not looking forward to it at all. What should I do? To clarify, I see that many of you are giving my family a hard time. I get that, but I'm not mad at them at all. For 5 years, they have really been mad at both women, and they have been incredibly mad at Jean, but I think being mad all your life does not solve anything. Please don't think that they are a happy family. There is still a distance between my parents and Jean. They are much more colder towards her. Edit. Yes, I am dating someone. Been together 1 year. She knows and understands the situation. I just want to state that I don't have feelings anymore for Nicole, but that does not mean I'm not hurt anymore. The wound was deep, and I think I would have come to terms with it quicker if they would have owned up that it was not okay and that my feelings were valid. My 23 female, mother 38 female, had me when she was 15. She actually went against her family to have me, because of which she got kicked out of her home at the age of 15. Needless to say, without a father in my life, my mother was the only one who raised me. She worked small jobs and went through a lot of hardships to give me the life I have today, and I am grateful for that. Recently, my mother told me that she was dating someone. I was very happy for her, as I've never seen her so excited about a man in her life. She told me she had been seeing him for 3 years. When she introduced me to him, I was shocked because I knew the guy from my professional circle, and I know that he is a married man with kids. I've seen him with his wife at company events. I later asked my mother if she knew that the guy was married. She told me that she knew, her justification being that he was in an unhappy marriage and that his wife was emotionally abusive. I felt personally betrayed because I got cheated on a year ago by my serious ex-boyfriend of 4 years. I still have PTSD from that relationship. I knew that my ex belittled me in front of the other girl to make himself look like the victim. My mother was actually there for me while I dealt with the breakup. The realization that all that time she was actually having an affair with a married man makes me sick. She feels that he deserves to be happy. I never denied that, but at what cost? I kicked my mother out from my place and told the guy's wife. It was so heartbreaking. I ended up consoling her. I've been in her place, and I know her pain is far greater than what I went through. 18 years of marriage is no joke. We actually keep in touch. She has decided to file for divorce. My mother is heartbroken about my betrayal. She's still seeing the D-bag. The last time we talked, I told her never to call me again, and from that day on, our relationship was over. I deleted her from my contacts and blocked her everywhere. My aunt feels that my reaction was unwarranted. What does Reddit think? Am I the a-hole?